What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. It's time for another ranking video. We're going to be ranking the Super Mario Party Jamboree minigames. This includes all the free-for-alls, the 2v2s, 1v3s, boss battles, you name it. So let's just go in and not waste any more time. The showdown minigames are here too. So yeah, we're going to rank a lot of minigames here. Now, if I don't remember the name of them, that's on me, and I have a list right here, which isn't really the best site because it freezes often, but anyway, here we go. First off, we have is Lumber Tumble, which is a little platform minigame where you dodge Shy Guys, make sure you don't fall. This is a nice little minigame. I say it's a B tier, honestly. Next up we have is Snag the Flags, where you go around a spear, I guess, and get as many flags as you can. This is honestly a really cool one. I gotta put this in A tier. A lot of minigame rankings I usually go by pretty quick, so yeah. Alright, next up we have is Big Top Quiz. This is basically your typical quiz game. Watch the characters on the balls, and make sure you read the question carefully, see if you get it right. It's self-explanatory, it's a B tier. Alright, next up we have is, I don't know what this minigame is called, but it's basically, you swing your hammer to pound a nail, make sure it's in all the way. That sounded so bad, oh god. Put in A tier despite me being bad, as I do like the concept. Next up, the images are not loading well. I love the internet. Alright, next up is, I have not gotten prepared for this because I can't find the names. It was called Hammer at Home. This one is... whatever this is. Basically, it's an obstacle course. You try to avoid like different obstacles to keep on moving. I can't read that name. So honestly, I really like this one. A tier. Sandwiched. This is honestly really cool. Sandwiches keep stacking up, and you gotta keep on climbing. Make sure you don't get crushed. The music is very intense. Honestly, S tier alone because I just love it. Honestly. Next up is this one called Light Wave Battle. Ground pound sometimes to hit your opponents with the waves. This could be a very unique minigame, especially when you're playing with human players, honestly. So, but it ends pretty quick, so I gotta put this in B tier. Alright, next up we have is whatever this is called. Basically, you're tilting your controller to move up and avoid the Alps. This is a really unique kind of like controlling minigame. You see these pretty often. It's called Shuttle Scuttle. Alright, next up is Gatekeepers. This is, I'm gonna put this, you know what? I don't care, we're gonna do it this way. Because this minigame is so ass, I had to beat it in the solo mode. It's luck-based minigame, a lame luck-based minigame. Pay attention to the keys you use, and yeah, hope you get lucky. This is an F tier. Next up we have is Trampoline, which is basically bouncing on these ant troopers, and be careful with your opponents because they can screw you over. Honestly, it's a nice little minigame, but boy, the opponents can be annoying. Next up we have is Sled to the Edge. This is your typical stop to the edge of the area without falling off. You see these minigames sometimes. Honestly, I've been pretty neutral with these. I gotta put the B tier, but I do like the way it looks, so I'll give it credit for that. Next up we have is, this is a classic one, Cold Fronts. Watch out for these blowing guys, I can't say their names, to make sure you don't get blown up. And also deal with ice physics. This is a really intense minigame, but I do love it for that reason, honestly. Next up we have is Minecraft. No, it's called Pickaxe Dash. Basically, shake your Joy-Con to dig through, to mine your way out of the platform. This is a very short minigame, but honestly, it just feels nice and satisfying to win that one. Next up we have is, oh god, Tilt and Sort. Tilt to sort the Cheep Cheeps and bloopers into their own base. This is a really interesting minigame when you get the hang of sorting, because sometimes when you're tilting, sometimes they fall into weird spots, but it's too simple for me, so C tier. Next up we have is another quiz game. Yippee. Thwomp the Difference. Basically, just look at the fruits, or whatever it is, and see what's the difference. It's self-explanatory. Alright, next up we have, it's basically Crank to Rank, but this minigame is called Night Lights. Basically, it's Crank to Rank. If you play that one Mario Party 8, you know. Twirl your Joy-Con and hope you win. B tier. Next up we have is this one, Tiny Triathlon. Swim, bike, and long jump, or I guess jump over the hurdles, so long jump your way through this obstacle course. This is a really cool minigame. I originally wasn't a fan because of the biking, but honestly, it's like that. It's a really cool concept. Next up, we have another motion control minigame being Tilt-A-Golf. Tilt your golf ball to the hole and try to get the most points. B tier. Next up, we have is this one. I don't remember what it's called. This is a kind of luck-based minigame. That's a kind of. I mean, it is luck-based. Choose the platform to move across, and be careful because your opponents can also pick one. So, yeah, it's one of these type of minigames. I put in like C tier because it's still luck-based. Next up, we have, oh god, camera ready. I hate this minigame. It feels so off. You have to take a picture of the frame in the exact, at least in the close moment. Sometimes it just doesn't work. And it doesn't work for me because I gotta zoom in with my eyes. So, B tier. Low, actually no, C tier. Yes, I said it. Next up is Hot Hot Hop. That's the name of the minigame, by the way. Yeah, it's just dodging the blargs and the fire bars. It's typical dodging minigame. I say it's a solid lower A, though. Next up is Stamp Out from Mario Party 4. It's great to see this one back, honestly, and it's still just a classic here, so A tier. Next up is Grantee Getaway. I can't believe it took a bit for this minigame to come back, but it's just as great as ever. Watch out for the big boulder chasing you and avoid obstacles. I really love this minigame, honestly. Minus the obstacles, but god, I used to love watching this as a kid. Domination! It's button mashing. Mash A. I'm a button masher, so I really like this one. Alright, next up we have is 3-Throw. This minigame comes back often, and it's still unbalanced, because, like, if you're on the side, you basically win. This is, like, a lower B tier. Why did I used to like this minigame? Alright, it's time for the 1v3s. First off, we have is Bruiser Bash. One player is a bruiser machine, the others have to dodge. This could be either one, honestly. I'll put it in B tier. I'm gonna put a lot of stuff in B tier, as you can tell. Next up we have is, oh god, another luck-based minigame. Lost and Pound. One player chooses a side, the threes have to basically just guess, see if you can find it. The one has 3 hits. I think 4 health would have been more balanced, but yeah, D tier. Only because I guess you can kind of have an advantage, but still. Next up, Sunset Standoff. This is really more side to the threes if you know what you're doing. I don't really like this one. And it really looked unbalanced when I first saw it in the trailer. Next up is on again, off again. This is the on and off switches. One player uses on and off switches to hit their opponents with the spiky balls. I forgot what those enemies are called. Honestly, I really like this one. It's a cool concept. I put at least a high B tier. Because honestly, that's a really cool concept. Here's another cool one I actually like. Unfriendly Flying Object. Basically, one player drops a falling spiky platform while the threes try to dodge. I really like this concept, honestly, despite that. It's actually fairly balanced. Next up, we have is Cage Catch. One player swims away, the threes have to catch them. Sort of like Spotlight Swim, just you don't all have to use a thing, you know what I mean. Honestly, it's a pretty unique one. If you're a button masher, the one can win easily, basically. So this is kind of one side. You never know. Depends on button masher. My nose is not the best. Cookie cutters! I really like this one. No matter which side I'm on, I always have fun time with this. Cut the right shapes of the cookie, basically. Try to get the most. Honestly, I really like this one. The threes have their own, while the one has to deal with all 3. So have fun with that. Next up is Arch Rivals, not to be confused with Archie Rivals. It's basically the one shoots the threes in a different way. Try to get points. I don't really like this one because it's just the angling is just not good. I honestly would put this in D, but I'll put it in low C. I just don't like the angling. Blame it on the crane! I'm sick of this minigame, honestly. It's not that good. C tier. Snowball. This can either end very quickly, like happens in montages, or could take a bit. One player throws snowballs with the little ukikis, little monkeys, while the threes have to, you know, kill the one with snowballs. Overall, it's a B tier. Have fun with the ads in case you see them. Alright, and that's the 1v... Now it's time for the 2v2s. I honestly really like a lot of these 2v2s. First off we have is Pick and Produce. Sort the fruit in the right position. Honestly, this is a really cool 2v2. I put this at least... I don't know if I should put it in S tier, but A tier is really good. Next up we have is... I don't remember what this is called. 2X Taxi. You basically have to control a taxi-like car or something in different directions, go through obstacles. This could really depend if you have an actual player with you or a CPU, because CPU's, like, I don't know, it's weird with the CPU. Next up we have is Robo Arm Wrestle. It's arm wrestling, but with Robo. Shake your Joy-Con to win the arm wrestle. Honestly, a really satisfying minigame to win. I'm putting this in S tier, to be honest. Sometimes I don't mind Joy-Cons. Also, that was my phone. Next up we have, oh, this is a really cool one. Rocky Rope Race. Hold on to the bar while you're swinging through the mines. Honestly, it's a really cool one, even if it is a bit on the simple side. Next up we have is Matchmakers. It's matching. What do you expect? Find cards that match. You see this often. It's B tier. Next up is Prime Cut. Cut the steak and try to get 50-50, or at least half. Why does Mario Party have good-looking food? Anyway, yeah, it's a solid above B tier, because sometimes it's not too accurate. Next up we have is Dory Pedal Paddle. This is like the rowing game from 4, kinda. That's pretty much what this is. But again, it's a B tier. I wasn't a fan of it anyway. This is a unique one right here. Here we have, I forgot what it's called. Shadow Play. Find 2 shapes that look... You have to combine shapes, basically. Honestly, I really like the concept of this one. Once you get the hang of the ordering, it's actually not too bad. This is a really cool 2v2. Defuse or lose it. I'm sick of this minigame. It's not that good. C tier. Jump the gun. One player shoots a bullet bill and the other has the platform. I really love the concept in this one. I'm glad they brought this back, honestly. Next up we have is Tricky Turntable. This would have been a neat coin game if it wasn't going on for too long. And it's also luck-based, or at least a strategy-ish game, kind of, so yeah. Alright. More coin okay, this is more coin collecting we see. Next up we have is... I don't know what this one is called. Tree Stop Treasure. Basically, platforming while the platforms tilt. This is a unique coin little game. Next up we have, oh, I really love this one. One person rides Plessy, the others 3 have to... This is basically the river race or whatever from 3, but more balanced. So honestly, yeah, I really like this one. Also, Plessy is base, so A tier alone for that. Oh, excuse me. Next up we have is Ranks to Riches. Ride the big boot to grab coins. Overall, I really like it. I swear I could hear something. Next up is, oh god, this one. This is a 2v2 I'm not a fan of. Use your lasso to grab chests. You need 2 people to grab the big chest. And once you get the hang of it, it's not bad, but I feel like this is one of the few motion control minigames that doesn't work at all. Literally. Alright, next up we have is Squeaky Showdown. This is Bash and Cash from 1, but in reverse. The 1 actually has the advantage here. And you know, 3s can't get the coins back. It's really funny. Honestly, so I'll put at least a B tier. Next up is Treasure Divers. This is a weird-ass big hitbox compared to 1, honestly, so I would have liked this more if it wasn't for the hitboxes. Sorry. Next up is Platform Pearl. I was pretty neutral on this one, to be honest, because I don't know, it just feels way too easy now, especially when they made it a coin minigame. I really wanted this minigame back, but they ruined it, to be honest, so C tier. Man. Alright, time for Showdown minigames, the character-specific ones. Do I even rank the item minigames? I'm not gonna rank them. Alright, first off is Bowser Jr.'s. Basically dodging enemies. This is a really cool one, honestly, and I actually do like this one, so A tier. Next up is Luigi's, where you basically solve different rooms until you find Luigi, unlock him. I would have liked this more if it wasn't for the last room. It's honestly the hardest one. I still struggle with it. Sorry, Luigi, you're gonna have to take the L with a B tier. Next up is Rosalina's. This shocked me big time. You're skiing down a mountain, and then Rosalina all of a sudden just makes a rainbow road. Honestly, even if it's just motion controls, that alone gets an S tier. Next up, I mean, Donkey Konga. What do you want me to... Well, I can confirm, even if it's the same song over and over again, I will never stop smiling over this one. Easy S tier, and probably my favorite minigame in the game. And it's literally just a showdown minigame. Next up is Daisies, where you're collecting medals in different ways. Honestly, despite me not being the biggest Daisy fan, I do like her minigames, so A tier. Next up is Peaches, where you have different obstacles of helping Peach on the day off, I guess. It's neat. Nothing too crazy, though. I think the only interesting one is, like, the last part, though. Alright, Mario's! This is three iconic minigames combined. Leaf Leap, Shy Guy Says, and Bumper Balls. This is honestly really interesting. I do love it for that. S tier. Waluigi Pinball! I would have put this in S tier if it didn't go on for so long. If you play pinball, you know how it works, but this will go in A tier. Not S because it goes on for way too long, honestly. Next up is Yoshi's, which is platforming through levels where you're riding a Yoshi. I can't believe we get to see Donkey Kong and Bowser on a Yoshi. That's crazy. That alone gets it in S tier. Next up is Wario's Quiz Show. That's what basically this is. Yeah, it's a quiz show with Wario. Honestly, one of the best ones, for sure. I don't even know if to rank the item minigames. They're all kind of just in the same ranking, to be honest. So, all the D tiers. Alright, time for the Coin-athlon minigames, or Koopa-athlon minigames. This one where you're hitting a Monty mode. I do like this one. It's pretty satisfying to play. Alright, next up is this one. This is basically Peace Out from Mario Party 5. I never was good at it, so I'm gonna have to put this in B tier, unfortunately. Here's one where you're dodging the spike balls while collecting coins. This is a simple one you can like. I'm not reading the names. I'm trying to breeze through this because there's still a lot. I haven't even gotten to the 8-player ones. Next up, okay, Brick Breaker. I wish was a free-for-all one, honestly, because this one is actually really fun. I gotta put this in S tier because I really like these types of minigames. Here's one where you're trying to make where you're trying to cook and not burn it. I'm really bad at this one, so I have to put this in C tier. Next up is Lane Change, which I guess is similar to that one motor game from Mario Party 3. Honestly, I really love this one. It feels satisfying to get through the coins. Next up is, this one, Down the Hatch. Try to get plushies and try to get a bunch of money. This is honestly an S tier. I really love this one. Next up is Cannonball. This is Cannonball one. Sky High Cannons. Basically, get in the cans and try to get as much. I really love this one, honestly. Which door has more? That's what the minigame is literally called. Find out which enemy has more. It's not that good. Alright, Bowser games. Oh my god. Burning Bridges. Basically jump over the fireball. It's self-explanatory, very simple. Next up is Fire Wave. Climb the pole while lava's rising, while fire bullet bills are coming. Honestly, or maybe not fire, but you know what I mean. But yeah, really cool concept, honestly. Here's where you gotta basically run away from Bowser by dodging. Just keep on running. I really like this one, though. But yeah, A tier. Next up, this one where you memorize, don't pick the bombs. It's a memory game. What do you expect? It's okay. And next up is this one where watch the floor, you'll fall. Honestly, I really like this concept. Alright, time for the 8-player minigames. The Kaboom Squad minigames. Alright, so this one where you're timing, it's a simple minigame where you're just timing, but yeah, it's a solid B tier. This one is don't look, but you actually have to look. I mean, it's simple, but I actually really like the characters just staring at it alone, gets an A tier. Here is this is like super simple rhythm, basically. C tier. Juice. This one I really love. All working together to make juice. Honestly, that's so funny. I love it. A tier. Next up is this one. Don't let the bombs get near the castle, the building. Honestly, it's a really cool idea, but it gets too hectic at the end, so above B tier. Here's one, trading cards. Get the cards in order, basically. It's a unique minigame, honestly, so I'll put it in A. Volleyball, but it's 8-player. How do you design volleyball like that, honestly? Either way, it's simple. It works. Alright, next up, Chomp Watch. Basically, one player watches a chomp. It's like, the people yearn for anything Mario Party 8 related. Anyway, B tier. Next up is this one. I would have liked this more if it wasn't annoying, honestly. So, yeah. Shoot the things and get a bingo. Puzzles! More puzzles. I don't like puzzles. C tier. Alright, dual minigames. This is basically the one from 4. Try to be quick when you're fishing. It's super simple. Here's one I really love, where you ground pound and try to slap your opponents, but you can get tricked. A tier. Here's one I actually really find satisfying to win, at least. Basically, go through the marbles and try to get through. Honestly, a very satisfying one, despite being a duel. This one, go up with the fuzzies. Where there's fuzzies, watch out for obstacles. Honestly, it's pretty nice, but the new Super Mario Bros. Style takes it away from me. Or it kind of lowers it for me. This is lame bowling, D tier. Alright, here comes the boss fights, and here comes some hot takes here. Okay, starting off with the basic. This one is not fun for platforming, C tier. This one is actually really cool. I really like the concept, A tier. This one is neat, but like too simple, B tier. This one is kind of just shooting. I mean, this one's actually kind of neat, though. And then the Bowser one, I would like this more if I understood the concept, but it's still neat. Most of the bosses are kind of here. Alright, rhythm minigames. I'm really bad at rhythm minigames, so I don't even know if I should rank them. Most of them I kind of rank around the same, but they're all really cool food-like games. So that's all you're going to get. And that's all the minigames related to Super Mario Party Jamboree. This took 20 minutes, but I hope it was worth it. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. What's your favorite minigame in Super Mario Party Jamboree? Let me know in the comments below. Later, folks.